Hello students, today we take the topic of inverse trigonometric function from the chapter trigonometric function. As in our 12th syllabus, this paper first, chapter number 3, trigonometric function. In previous period we see the topic of sine rule, cosine rule with their application for half angles. But that sine and cosine, or we may take by Napier's analogous, we take relation between tangent and cotangent. That relations are from circular function. But we see here the topic about inverse trigonometric function. Before this, you know that the definition of inverse function. In 11th standard, we already learned the definition of inverse function. For this function, you know that if the function f defined from a to b, here we say a be the domain set and b be the codomain set. If the function f defined from set a to set b, where a be the domain set and b be the codomain set, then we say if the function is 1 1, if that function f is 1 1, if that function is onto, means by using these two combination we say that that function is bijective. If the function is bijective, means 1 1 means into, as function is 1 1 means injective, function is onto means surjective, both form the function is bijective, then inverse of the function exists. Inverse of the function exists, then we can define that inverse of the function f inverse defined from codomain to domain. Means for the circular function, simple function a, domain set is a, codomain set is b, which can be defined as fx equal to y for all x belongs to domain set a. But when we take that function satisfy the condition of inverse function, means existence of inverse function, means that function is bijective mapping, then inverse of the function is defined from b to a such that f inverse of y is equal to x for all y belongs to b. Now here we take the condition for inverse function, and after this we can take once inverse of the function exists, then we find corresponding definition of the inverse of the function. Already we learned this topic in 11th standard. Now we take study of inverse trigonometric function. As you know that sine function, which is a standard function that can be defined from closed interval minus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, means range of that function from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. But angle lies in between this closed interval, as interval may be finite, but that there are infinitely many angles which lies in between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So on this interval, value of the trigonometric function sine, that values of the trigonometric function lies in between minus 1 to 1. But here that interval is closed, means including that both value. Interval minus 1 to 1, that can be defined as set of all, you know that interval minus 1 to 1 defined as set of all x belongs to R, but that x lies in between plus 1 to minus 1, including minus 1 and plus 1. But we take that value as minus 1 to 1 is along y-axis, we take at most value is plus 1, and along negative y-axis we take that value least value, at most value again, that is minus 1. Now from this we take, as you know that for the interval, means angle pi by 2, you know that sine pi by 2 is equal to 1. So along y-axis we get value of 1. You take value of x along this x-axis, which angle has lies 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, proceeding in this way by interval difference of pi by 2. So we take sine 0, 0, for which we take value is 0. Angle measure have 0, measurement of that sine ratio is 0. But if we take x is replaced by pi by 2, so sine pi by 2 means at this angle, value of the sine ratio along y-axis, that value is 1, and therefore sine pi by 2 is 1. Now proceeding in this way, we may find sine pi minus pi by 2. So minus pi by 2 is here. For this minus pi by 2, sine ratio has minus 1 value. So by using this, we take this is the graph of circular function, that is sin x. Now inverse of the sine function can be defined by interchanging domain, codomain. As we define here, sine inverse function can be defined from the closed interval -1 to 1 to the closed interval -π/2 to π/2. Means inverse mapping is exists, and for this inverse mapping we take this value as a general example, that if we take sine inverse of 1, so value of sine function is 1 for the angle 90 degrees, so we take this value becomes π/2. So and -1 for -π/2. So meaning of this, as we take this 1 is replaced by sine π/2, so that sine inverse and sine, that function means circular function, and its inverse function cancelled, you get value is π/2. But before this, you take the relation between inverse function, as we take here the graph along its axis which is symmetry, but by taking inverse function definition, we take that graph is along y-axis and symmetry along its y-axis, you get that value by taking inverse value, inverse function of the sine for the numbers which lies in between -1 to +1. Means here we take the inverse function which lies in between -1 to 1, but its range is along closed interval -π/2 to π/2, means along y-axis. By using the concept, if we take x is equal to here 1, so sine inverse 1. So for this 1, you can take that angle is π/2. Or likewise, you may take here x is equal to -1, means along x-axis we take this value is -1. But for this -1, you get value of along y-axis is -π/2. So by using this graph, we find inverse function which can be defined along y-axis, and that can be used the value of the sine inverse function which lies in between -1 to 1, but range for this function is -π/2 to π/2. In similar manner, we can define here cosine function. Before this, you know that cos function can be defined from closed interval 0 to pi, because you know that cos 0 is 1, but cos pi is -1. So here again range for the cosine function is -1 to +1. Means at least value of cosine function is for any measure angle. For any measure of angle, cosine of that angle lies in between -1 to 1. We take range of that cosine function is -1 to 1. Then its inverse function is defined from interchanging domain with codomain. So -1 to +1 up to range of the function is 0 to pi. So from with the help of these two functions, we may define remaining inverse trigonometric function. But you can remember this function easily. Cosine function along x-axis, means take this along x-axis, we take all angle along x-axis, and you know that values for 0 angle. Now for this 0 angle, cosine ratio gives value 1, because you know that cos 0 is 1. At the same time, you may take cos pi, as pi with the angle which lies along positive direction of x-axis, but its graph is below the x-axis, therefore its value becomes here -1. So by using this simple concept, we can find values of the cosine function. With the help of this graph, we take inverse of the cosine function, means y is equal to cos inverse x. For this function, that graph is symmetric along y-axis, and along x-axis we take the range as -1 to 1. This interval values -1 to 1. In between them, the inverse function of inverse values of the cosine function which lies, means for cos inverse of -1, cos inverse of -0 point something, cos inverse of -0.1, 0.2, or 0.111, 0.222, you may take any value, but that value always lies in between. Means for this inverse function, we take that x lies in between -1 to 1. But for this range, we take there are infinitely many angles which lies in between 0 to pi, but range is fixed. Range is fixed. Inverse function gives range from 0 to pi, but value range is -1 to 1, but values from 0 to pi. Now for function we may take here cos inverse. Again you may take here cos inverse of -1. If you can replace this -1 by cos pi, so you get that value is equal to pi. Because we can take for negative function, there are different properties of inverse trigonometric function. So only we take -1 with the value of cosine function for angle pi. So cos pi is equal to -1. So we replace this -1 by cos pi. That can be cancelled out with cos inverse, and you get that value is equal to pi. And therefore remember that that graph is reverse, means inverse of this, means take down the values which lies along y-axis, that along x-axis, and the values along x-axis which lies along y-axis. With the help of this definition, we take the inverse trigonometric function. In similar manner, according to your textbook, you take the graphs of inverse trigonometric function for tangent, cotangent, secant and cosecant. All these graphs are drawn already in your textbook. Only you take how the nature of the circular function and its inverse function changes, and that are exact opposite to each other. Means in general, we can take for inverse function, we take the change in domain and codomain for the function given, which may be sine function, cosine function, tangent function, cotangent function, secant function and cosecant function. Now, according to syllabus of 12th standard, we take here some properties of inverse trigonometric function. We take that properties one by one, and after this, we take the corresponding examples. But that properties are very important from the point of view of your examination. As you know that values of the trigonometric function which lies in between -1 to 1, for which we can define the cosine and sine function. Means range of the sine and cosine function is always -1 to 1. So for this, simply we take along, suppose this is plane coordinate system, and when you can define, because when you can define coordinate x and y, so remember that always on this x coordinate ratio depends, that is cos, and on this y coordinate that ratio is sine. With the help of this x and y coordinate, means with the help of Cartesian coordinate system, we take conversion of polar system by taking the distance of the point from origin and by making an angle of inclination. Means by with the help of this, we find already relation between Cartesian coordinate system and polar system. X is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. But if you find value of any angle, you can take nature of that angle by using the concept of coterminal angle, which may be measured along clockwise or anti-clockwise. If that cosine is, if that angle have minus sign, we take the measure of the angle in clockwise direction, and if that angle have measure in anti-clockwise, then its sign is positive. So with the help of this coterminal angle, you can take trigonometric ratios of any angle we can find with the help of this. So terminal ray lies in particular quadrant. With the help of this, we draw the perpendicular on x-axis, negative direction or positive direction, and by using this x and y coordinate, we can find a corresponding measure of that angle using two rules, as 30, 60, 90 and second 45, 45, 90 degree. Now here we take that properties which take the corresponding concept of trigonometric function. So that topic is properties of inverse t function. Inverse t function. So which are these properties? For this, we take that properties can be takes from first property. We take, it is general property, as sine inverse of sine x is equal to sine of sine inverse x, and that value is equal to x. Means if in general we take mathematically algebraic operations are plus minus, so both are opposite to each other. So 0 is identity for addition. So by using this concept, we take the number with its opposite number, both are added to each other, then you get identity for this. So likewise here we take sine inverse map with its original function, that is sine function. So inverse and that function cancel, you get the corresponding angle here. And likewise here you take the inverse function of that number and you take the sine ratio of that angle, you get the corresponding value of the angle. Before this, means we take sine inverse of sine x is equal to sine of sine inverse x is equal to. Proceeding in this way, we take all 6 properties, as cos inverse of cos x equal to cos of cos inverse x is equal to x. Likewise, tan inverse of tan x, cot inverse of cot x, sec inverse of sec x, cosec inverse of cosec x. Now from second, we take negative concept, means sine inverse of minus x, which is equal to, here total we take 3 properties are identical with each other, means sine inverse of minus x is equal to minus of sine inverse x. Then cosec inverse of minus x is again minus cosec inverse of x, and with the help of this we find here value of tan inverse of minus x. Again that is minus tan inverse x. Now by using trigonometry means trigonometric ratios of negative angles, as we take rotation of that angle is measured in, this is anti-clockwise direction, so we take that angle is positive, and in similar angle for measurement we take this is minus theta, as we make that angle measure along the clockwise direction. But this terminal ray lies in fourth quadrant, which implies that x is positive and y is negative. Therefore, cosine is positive and sine is negative. So, with the help of this, for sine of minus theta, you know that its value is minus sine theta. With the help of this, we find here values of inverse trigonometric function for sine, that minus sign comes out. Similarly, for cosec inverse and tan inverse. But that ratios according to their range. Here, third property gives values of the function, that means first, second and third. For remaining inverse trigonometric function is cos inverse of minus x. After this we take here sec inverse of minus x. After this we take here that value cot inverse of minus x. So all these inverse function with their negative numbers can be mapped with their supplementary angles, means we take pi minus cos inverse of x, here pi minus sec inverse of x, and here we take that is pi minus cot inverse of x. In that function we take inverse function, means cot inverse of minus x plus cot inverse of x, that value is nothing but pi, means we, by using the condition of supplementary angles we take that values of, for negative numbers, inverse trigonometric function for cosine, secant and cotangent, that values gives their supplementary angles, means pi minus cos inverse x. Proceeding in this way, we find again negative values for inverse trigonometric function. Now here we take here fourth property, as this is important property. Again we take here sixth identity. For this we take first as sine inverse of x. By taking proper inverse function definition, sine inverse of x is nothing but, as by taking inverse ratio, only for sine we take its reciprocal is cosec, and therefore sine inverse can be replaced by cosec inverse, and we take here number is again inverses, so that becomes identical to each other. In general, as we take sine inverse x is equal to y, then with the help of this we find value of x is equal to sine y, and take down its reciprocal. So 1 upon x is equal to 1 upon sine y, and 1 upon x is equal to 1 upon sine y, but 1 upon sine y define cosec y, and shift this cosec to the left side, you get cosec inverse of 1 upon x, that value is y, which can be assumed on the first line. So sine inverse x is equal to cosec inverse 1 upon x, or vice versa, you may take their property, it changes as, or cosec inverse x is equal to sine inverse 1 upon x. So in similar manner again you may take cosec inverse x is equal to y, so x is equal to cosec y. Now you take here value of 1 upon x, so 1 upon x means you get here 1 upon cosec, but 1 upon cosec y is nothing but sine y. Again you can take sine y is equal to, again find the value of y is equal to sine inverse 1 upon x. So with the help of this you take again remaining 6 ratio. Instead of sine inverse we use result for cos inverse. So cos inverse of x is equal to sec inverse of 1 upon x, or you take here sec inverse of x is equal to cos inverse of 1 upon x. Again tan inverse of x is equal to cot inverse of 1 upon x, and remaining properties for sec inverse, cosec inverse, means we take next property, cot inverse x is equal to tan inverse 1 upon x. After this we take property for sec inverse. Sec inverse x, which already sec inverse x, that can be here find out first, as sec inverse x is equal to cos inverse 1 upon x. Means you can take here simple concept as, this is inverse function of sine, this is inverse function of cosec. That remains same, but we take their reciprocal of numbers. Means inverse function of number x is nothing but inverse of the inverse. Means here double inverse, so both are equal to each other. So inverse of sine is cosec inverse, and here we take that number is again inverse. So by using this property we solve many examples. Already we see the examples from the application of derivative of the inverse trigonometric function. There we solve the differentiation of the corresponding function that includes cos inverse some expression, and we try to convert that cos inverse in terms of cosine, and by cos inverse in terms of cosine, and by cancelling this we get the corresponding derivative of the function. Now here again important property, as we take that functions are complementary pairs, means cos inverse of x plus sine inverse of x, which is equal to pi by 2. Again there are three properties. This is first, you may take second, and you may take again third property. Sine cos inverse of x plus sine inverse of x is equal to pi by 2. Before this you know that if you assume one of the ratio, means suppose you take cos inverse x is equal to y. So with the help of this you find value of x, so that x is equal to cos inverse x equal to y, so x is equal to cos y. With the help of this cos y you can find value sine. So cos can be replaced by sine, but its angle can be replaced by its complementary pair. So that cos y is equal to sine of pi by 2 minus y. Sine of pi by 2 minus y, which is equal to cos y, and with the help of this we take that pi by 2 is free from this ratio, you get the value of that identity. Pi by 2 is equal to cos inverse x plus sine inverse x. Next property, cos inverse can be replaced by its inverse, means we may take sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x. Again that addition is equal to pi by 2, and next property, that is tan inverse x plus cot inverse x, is again pi by 2. This is very important property because many times examples on integration or derivative, only that numbers are reverses here. Instead of this cos inverse, that can be used here, suppose sec inverse. So we can replace this sec inverse with a reciprocal of this number. Take down here sec inverse with reciprocal of this number, you get cos inverse. So suppose this value is given here, so you can match this value with the left side, means cos inverse x, and that both are the complementary function of each other. Their addition is nothing but pi by 2. So by using this we find derivative of this pi by 2 or integration of pi by 2. Now again one more property, that is already formula for compound angle of alpha, tan alpha plus beta, that is tan inverse. So here we take that property, tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y, that is nothing but tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy, where this denominator is positive. Tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y is equal to tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy. As we learn the property as tan alpha plus beta. Tan alpha plus beta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta upon 1 minus tan alpha into tan beta. As we replace this, tan inverse x is equal to alpha. So here this is alpha plus, and this is second value is beta. So we get a value of alpha plus beta. And if you can shift this to the left side, so you get alpha plus beta is tan inverse something. But that tan inverse ratio is shifted to the right side, you get tan alpha plus beta. Once you can find formula for tan alpha plus beta, you get that result as tan alpha plus tan beta upon 1 minus tan alpha into tan beta. If you can replace that sign as plus, so numerator becomes plus, denominator becomes, for a minus sign you get numerator is minus and denominator becomes plus, opposite sign. So with the help of this we find again trigonometric ratio for inverse tangent ratio, that gives here two formulas, one for plus and second for minus. So all these about the properties of inverse trigonometric function, and with the help of this we find all functions, all examples on inverse trigonometric function, because at the starting of the chapter we take principal value, after this principal solution, after this we take general solution. Now in this last topic we take every time the principal value of the function. So by using the concept of that rotation and negative concept with the corresponding numbers, if you learn this property, then you can easily find out that values with the negative numbers, or you may take the corresponding identity, means for supplementary angles, or these are nothing but all properties of inverse trigonometric function. Now this topic is over. We topic of examples remains here. We see to the next period that topic of inverse trigonometric function. So with the help of this topic is over about inverse trigonometric function. So thanks to all.